After collapsing on the football field.
After collapsing in the middle of the game.
Collapsing during the game.
Collapsing on the tennis court.
Suddenly collapsing.
The player collapsed
And died.
After collapsing.
Are you tired of being called a conspiracy theorist? Do you see patterns where other people don't? Are your relationships with your friends and family suffering as a result? Well, then ask your doctor about Noticinol. Noticinol is an FDA-approved drug that helps people afflicted by chronic noticing. It works by suppressing the part of your brain responsible for critical thinking so you can get back to living carefree. Side effects of taking Noticinol may include, but are not limited to, heart attacks, sudden adult death syndrome, storming the Capitol, unironically enjoying late-night television, and in rare cases, Bryant's deltoiditis. People who take Noticinol once a day report up to a 97% decrease in noticing. Do your own research to find out if Noticinol is right for you.
You can't stop coincidences from happening, but you can stop noticing them. And now, for more severe cases, try extra-strength Noticinol.
Oh my. I bet they're probably already putting it in the public drinking water. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Rudowski here of WeAreChange.org, and we have a plethora of absolutely big, huge, ginormous news to get into today, as of course we not only have a major bombshell by Project Veritas, but a major escalations to the seriousness of the proxy war between the East and the West. What does this represent? What does this mean? Well, we're going to be taking Biden's own word on this. And all the warnings that we have been giving you throughout the last few years have been essentially coming true. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was once again done by the amazing Danny Polishuk. If you're not following this man on YouTube, what are you doing? He's a really awesome, really funny human being, and his latest skit on Noticinol definitely helps us represent the larger head in the sand effect that a lot of Americans are feeling. And truly, he knocked this one out of the park, just like many of his other comedy skits, which again are available on his YouTube channel. That YouTube channel down in the description below. Follow it, subscribe right now. And since many of you guys have been asking, where's my co-host? She's right here. Atlas, come over here. Come on. This is actually bad for training purposes, but just for this video, we'll give her an exception. On the bed. Let's go. Good job. Yes. All right. I'm pretty much nothing without her here. Thank you so much thank you, Atlas. I really appreciate you. What's this? You want to say something? What? Come over here. Come. Up. Yeah. Good job. What's this? The military-industrial complex has taken over your government. Oh, my Atlas, stop it. You're going to get this YouTube channel taken out. Atlas, excuse me. Get back up there. Up over here. Thank you very much. She doesn't hold back at all. Super smart dog. Anyway, jumping right into the news headlines. Today, we also just found out moments ago that Donald Trump had his Facebook and Instagram accounts restored by Mr. Zuckerberg, a metallic alien-like life force that decides who can have a voice and who cannot. Now, will Bumstock Donnie start using the platform again? Well, that's another question in itself, as of course he had a Twitter account that was reinstated, but because of financial ties to Truth Social, he has yet to start using it. All of this as he's still telling everyone that he is running for the presidency in 2024, as he is still a major campaigner and pusher for a product by Big Pharma that recently got a major expose by Project Veritas that just released new undercover video of one of their representatives specifically talking about how Pfizer is exploring mutating the current sickness going around within the last 3 years in order to create new products that they will sell to you. Products that, of course, Donald Trump is a big fan of, is still promoting every single day. Products that let's just say, have some very serious questions about their efficacy, to say the least, as the United Kingdom has allegedly halted the use of this product for people under the age of 50. All of this, as of course it's important to note here that this man that was target of this expose, Jordan Tristan Walker, the Pfizer Director of Research and Development, is also being accused of assaulting Project Veritas journalists when they confronted him with his own words, which are absolutely very big here. What's the exact bigger ramifications here? What does this mean? Well, of course, it implicates a lot of very important things, and sadly, a lot of the things that we cannot discuss here on this platform, so we're going to have to save this topic for LukeUncensored.com, our own platform, our own website, our own way of doing things, and you will get a brand new spanking video available for you right after this one, where we are going to be talking about some very interesting things, including the Earth's core that has stopped moving and might be actually reversing now. What does this mean? What does this signify? Well, we're going to be talking about this, plus a lot more. Lots of crazy stuff out there, lots of propaganda, lots of bullcrap. There's a lot of big money that, of course, prevents you from speaking about a lot of these topics. So this is why we commend Project Veritas for doing so. They, of course, have launched a lot of this on Twitter, one of the few platforms where people are still able to have free speech. We're going to be breaking all of this down, plus a lot more, on our own platform, LukeUncensored.com, where we will continue answering your questions and talking to you one-on-one through our AMA, which we are continuing. We already got through a lot of questions. We're going to get through a lot more today. So many important conversations. I'm very excited to do this. It's a lot of fun, and I will see you there right after this broadcast. Sign up right now for just 50 cents a day on LukeUncensored.com. Now, I think it's fair to say that the biggest news today that should, of course, have more attention when it comes to our national discourse is the latest escalations that are happening right now in Ukraine, which are very serious, and of course will have a lot of bigger ramifications for not just Ukraine, but for the entire world. As I think it's fair to say that this is an extremely dangerous escalation, where many hard-line Russian state media broadcasts are even talking about the major significance of this in proportion towards a full all-out global war. Now, of course, there's been a lot of hyperbolic statements made by Russia during this entire conflict that haven't been backed by any action. But we have to understand here the ramifications of this escalation, of sending this advanced hardware to Ukraine right now. Even the President of the United States knows the significance of this, as he is previously on record saying this.
The idea that we're going to send in offensive equipment and have planes and tanks and trains going in with American pilots and American crews, just understand, don't kid yourself, no matter what you all say. That's called World War III. Today, I'm announcing that the United States will be sending 31 Abrams tanks to Ukraine.
I've done some dumb things, and I'll do dumb things again.
You heard it himself. Joe Biden, the President of the United States, knows that sending in tanks to Ukraine will start World War III, as he's sending tanks to Ukraine. This, as U.S. contractors are also preparing to ramp up the production of American F-16 fighter jets, since they also expect that weaponry to be sent to Ukraine eventually. This, as the former President of the United States just went on Truth Social and said, quote, "First come the tanks, then come the nukes. Get this crazy war ended now, so easy to do." And even though I've been a critic of the former President of the United States here, I do believe that he is absolutely right when his assessment here with how serious this situation is and how badly it needs to end immediately. This, as of course many countries are preparing their militaries for the worst possible scenario and situation. Poland has been readying their troops. Denmark is calling for mandatory military service for women. This, as the current president of Russia is saying directly that these tanks being sent to Ukraine is, quote, direct involvement in the Ukrainian war, and how can it not be? This is, again, a larger proxy war, as it always has been. It moved from the theater of Syria to the current theater. All of this, as Wired is running headlines like this that now read, quote, "You might survive a nuclear blast if you have the right shelter." Yes, you actually heard that correctly. This, as the Daily Beast wrote a very interesting article talking about how Ukraine is predicting major attacks on Russian cities. This, according to the advisor of the current Ukrainian president, Volodymyr Zelensky, that is talking about how these escalations and how the war continuing in Russia is, quote, inevitable. This, as the Ukrainians have already made very significant strikes within Russian territory, targeting Russian military bases and Russian infrastructure inside of their own country, expanding this theater of war. All of this, as there is even some U.S. personnel that is warning that the United States could soon be running out of equipment, mainly because of the huge amount that that it has already sent to Ukraine. All of this, as there already has been a number of individuals tied to U.S. special military operations and special forces that have been KIA'd inside of the Ukrainian theater of war. Now, with the United States getting more and more involved here, especially previously before setting up U.S. Patriot missile systems, which the Americans had to run, along with the billions and billions of dollars sent to the Ukrainian government and politicians that are known for their corruption, a lot of people here are asking the question, why are we doing this? What is this for? Who benefits off of all of this? And hey, let's just be honest here with ourselves. U.S. weapons manufacturers are seeing a lot of record profits. A lot of stocks connected to a lot of the companies providing a lot of this weaponry also has gone up. And let's be honest here, it's not the people of Ukraine that are gaining anything here. It's not the people of Russia. It's not the people of Europe. It's not the American people. It's a small group of people that are profiting financially off of these very dangerous, reckless moves that will prolong and continue this conflict. This, as it's important to note here, that the Ukrainians have been losing ground in Bakhmut to the point where even Western allies are telling them to give up and retreat from that major key stronghold area and to try to launch operations and defensive positions in the south, guarding, of course, from Crimea. This, as even American military experts are saying that Ukraine can defeat Russia, but only if they get more weaponry. I wonder if this military expert is also being paid by the military-industrial complex. Most likely so. As, of course, the huge life loss here is extremely significant, extremely tragic, as essentially there is World War I trench-like warfare right now happening that is absolutely brutal, inhumane, chaotic, and in my opinion, just absolutely evil. Now, what are these new tanks going to do? How is Russia going to be responding here? Well, they sure are saber-rattling a lot, especially with their claims of direct involvement, their claims of them using nuclear weapons, which, again, is going to go up depending how the tides of this war turn. This, as of course, Putin is already simulating strikes and moving around hypersonic missiles all throughout Western territories, posturing here. And why are we doing all of this? Well, I think it's pretty clear why. What do you think is really the purpose of all this insanity and nonsense? Let me know down in the comment section below. I wouldn't be here along with Atlas if it wasn't for you guys actively watching and supporting this independent media broadcast. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org. One more video coming your way right now on LukeUncensored.com.